Man, I love that show. They were all unique, but still shared some things in common. Think about it, they couldn't have been radically different from one another, otherwise they would have never been able to hang out together for all those seasons. Like my mother always said, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. I think all of us could have lovable TV shows based on our friendships like these guys. Oddly, we've never heard much about Obama's friends, but like the rest of us, he's got them. Like, for instance, this guy who was closer to Obama than we were led to believe. He's Bill Ayers. Remember him, the anti-American stop-the-war radical terrorist who said he didn't do enough? He also bombed a police station, so obviously he had no love for them either, but since Obama said he and Ayers disagreed on everything, it's probably safe to assume they had other stuff in common back then, like maybe, I don't know, racquetball. Yeah, that was big in those days. Oh, and recently we also found out about another friend of Obama's, Professor Louis Gates. You know, the one who claimed he got arrested by a racist pig for being a black man in his home on a Monday? Sounds like he and Obama go way back too. In fact, when Obama was running for Senate, Gates held numerous fundraisers and donated a maximum amount allowable to his presidential campaign. Now that's what I call a real friend. By the way, Gates is on record saying that he digs the fact that his mom despised white people. He also stated that he loves the idea of standing up in white people's faces and telling them off, kind of like he did to that police sergeant. So although it sounds like Ayers and Gates share a hatred for the popo, that's probably not why Obama clicked with these fellas. It was probably only in defense of his friend that Obama jumped to this conclusion about what the policeman did without knowing any of the facts.
I don't know, not having been there and not seeing all the facts, what role race played in that, but I think it's fair to say, number one, any of us would be pretty angry. Number two, that the Cambridge police acted stupidly.
And even though when Obama attended college in Cambridge, he racked up over 15 parking tickets and blew them off until he was about to run for president, that probably had nothing to do with a lack of respect for the law like Gates and Ayers had. He probably just forgot about them. Gates, Ayers, and Obama all probably shared other values and had other common interests like badminton. That's right, they were all probably badminton fanatics, which was really popular back in that day too. And since badminton is more fun with 4 people, maybe that's how Charles Ogletree fit into the group. Who's Charles Ogletree? Oh, he's Louis Gates' attorney, and he and Obama go way back too. In fact, he mentored Obama and Michelle at Harvard and advised Michelle to go into community service. And even though he was closely linked to the Black Panthers and, like Gates, held radical black ideology, that had nothing to do with Obama and why they were all friends. Like I said, the link was no doubt badminton. And after they got tired of hitting their shuttlecocks around the court, why does that sound so dirty? Charles Ogletree brought one more buddy into the fold, a guy named Cornel West, who, oddly enough, was another pro-black radical. He was also a Marxist intellectual, friend of Louis Farrakhan, and like the other guys in the group, views America as a nation thoroughly infested with white racism. Here's something else that's interesting. Both Ogletree and West served on the Black Advisory Board of Obama's presidential campaign, too. Hey, look, if friends can't help friends out with a gig, what are friends for? Okay, look, I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of commonalities here. Guys with black, radical, anti-American, Marxist, blue-eyed devil sentiments are all Obama's friends so far, and now this guy West is a part of the group, and okay, he's into that too, but he's nothing like Obama. I mean, come on, Cornel West was also a longtime member and honorary chair of the Democratic Socialists of America. Clearly, Obama's nothing like that group. Socialist Guys of America consider the defense of revolutionary Cuba one of their principal responsibilities. And their efforts are to change society to meet the needs of the many.
I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody.
So, you know, now that I think of it, maybe these guys were drawn together based on something else. Maybe this was religion. Yeah, that's probably the glue that bonded them together. See, Cornel West was also connected to James Cone. In fact, they shared writings together. Who's James Cone? James Cone is the creator of the Black liberation theology who said stuff like this.
Now, if the powerful in our society, the white people, if they want to become Christians, they have to give up that power. You just don't say, please forgive me now. The only way in which your repentance, your forgiveness can be authentic, your reception of it can be authentic, your repentance can be authentic, is that you give back what you took. And white people took a lot from black people.
That spawned Reverend Wright's church. You remember Reverend Wright, Obama's pastor of 20 years, who said stuff like this?
Jesus was a poor black man who lived in a country and who lived in a culture that was controlled by rich white people.
Luckily, Obama never heard any of that stuff, though. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have considered him such a treasured friend.
The man I met more than 20 years ago is a man who helped introduce me to my Christian faith, officiated my wedding, and baptized my children.
So like I was saying, maybe all these guys just attended church together. Is that so wrong? Okay, look, folks, clearly I've been expressing the thoughts of those who managed to stay in denial about Barack Obama. It's more than obvious that the people in his life seem to have an awful lot in common, and we've also seen that many of Obama's own actions are in the same vein. And I understand why it's difficult for many not to admit these similarities. He is now the President of the United States of America, which means he should love America and be president for all of her people. If he did bond with these guys because of common beliefs, it would be likely that that's who Obama really is too. And for many, that would be pretty disappointing. And for others, it would be a very frightening thought. Additionally, I can't imagine he'd ever have a lovable TV show based on his friendships like these guys. Or could I?